again, and welcome back.
Good afternoon.
Joined again as probably once every 6 months we're doing this now.
Seems to be getting less.
Good friend Neil Johnson, fellow guitarist, complete gear hound, tone obsessive and so on. And today we're going to be doing a bit of a review of 3 guitars he's brought with him for me to have a look at. And this one looks kind of familiar. It's what is it? Tell us about this rather familiar looking piece of win.
It is a 60th anniversary.
So that makes it 2014.
From 54 to 2014. It is based upon 0001, David Gilmour's #1 Strat. Which doesn't really see much of the light of day at the moment. I think he's used it once in concert at the 50th anniversary Fender party, but doesn't come out. So what Fender did was they did 3 models, plus a Squire actually.
For the anniversary?
Yeah, for the anniversary they did this one. They did a Squire one that was a similar sort of colour. They did 2 54s based on the Tobacco Sunburst. One being an American, I'm going to say overly priced because it was about 1,500 quid. Mm-hmm. And then there was a custom shop one which was about 3,500, which was limited to 1,954 for the year.
Yeah,
so there was 1,954 of them worldwide. The story behind this one is I saw it reviewed in, it would have been about Jan or Feb in 2014. Mm-hmm. I made an inquiry to try and get one, and everywhere in the United Kingdom said, come back to us in August, we will see what we can do. I came back to them in August, and it was, they just said anyone that did have one wanted silly money for them, and they were all pre-ordered. You couldn't get them, no one actually had one in stock. So I basically gave it up, and then I started looking, and I had this one shipped from America.
Yeah, because I have never seen one of these before.
No,
even photographs.
I don't know how many came in.
Yeah, I've seen like #1, but
yeah.
I've not seen the tribute of #1.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect copy though, is it?
No.
This
is what they've done. I think what they did with all of them is they said we're going to do a 54, we're going to do an anniversary one, but we're going to put some like modern features on. Mm. So this one has got the American 2-point trem where it would have been a 6-screw, six screw vintage trem. But the difference between that one and this one is the saddles. The saddles on there.
So is this a push arm or screw arm? Screw arm.
Screw
so
arm.
That is the standard trem that's on the American standard now. Because this is stopped using the solid saddles.
Yeah, so that's and obviously it's in gold, which is very unusual in that. And
this sort of vintage tinted.
It's full nitro, that one.
So this is nitrocellulose lacquer, obviously with some sort of tint because it's got that vintage.
It's 5 coats.
Aged. So
well, it's I'm not. Nitro never really dries. Mm-hmm. It's got 5 coats of it on.
Yeah. Because nitro is pretty thin, so it'll stand a few coats, but gloss finish on the neck, which I must admit, it's vintage. See, this bugs me a little bit. It's a very nice feeling neck, V sort of profile down the bottom end, and I can see why they've done the gloss finish on it because it's more vintagey.
It's how it would have been done. Yeah.
But vintage, you wouldn't have had a 2-post trem. You know, if I was taking the guitar and say I'm going to kind of modify it and bring it up to date and do a 2-post trem, I would have gone for like they do on standard series Strat and have this, like the gloss fingerboard, which looks lovely.
It would have, if it
didn't, back.
Except for the trem, it would have been exactly the same as David Gilmour's, even down to the wiring on it, because the wiring is different to a normal Strat. It's different to every other one in here and different to this one here.
Yeah, I mean that USA one.
This has been changed
I've
now.
tinkered with. So what are the switching options here? We've got #1
standard is bridge,
position and so on.
Position 2 is the bridge in the middle.
So this is standard reverse wound, so I get the...
Yeah, it's quiet, it's a noiseless. So.
I do like that sound.
That's the one I normally use all the time.
Yeah.
Then middle position. That's the middle on its own.
So do all the...
So those first 3 are standard. Now it gets a bit weird.
Right.
So now
I'm expecting these two.
Yes, it's not. It's those two.
Oh.
It's bridge and middle.
Which is a sound I quite like. This is one of the sounds I unlocked on that USA Strat.
It's those two together.
With the three-way switch in the blend.
Yeah.
So that's quite a nice sound.
Then the neck. Then that's the neck.
This one's the neck
Yeah.
on its own.
So basically, as it currently stands at the moment, position 4 is different because it's those two. But
Yeah.
what they've also put on here, if you carry on playing, they've got a hidden switch, which is now those two. So it's back to normal.
So there is a.
It's a six position, but with only 5 clicks, if that makes sense.
So this is like the old days where you used to have a three-way and kind of jam the.
But it's been wired so that on the hidden position, it's those two, so you can still get the. Which is not the same as. Now it's on those two. Now it's on neck only. And then that's do that. It's middle only. Middle and neck. And then. Then you've got the two necks.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's very nice. Very nice sound. Fiddly though.
It is. You can actually get a 7-position switch if you want, which will do all the combinations, including 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I was playing the guitar. I forget the name of the guy who made it. It was one of these custom builders that you meet at the guitar shows, and he had it's like a T-shape guitar with 2 humbuckers and like your Gibson style 3-way switch.
Yeah.
But it actually was a 6-way.
Yeah.
So you had
the coils
tilted towards you. You had 1, 2, 3, which is basically your Les Paul switching. Then you had going down a ways. 1, 2, 3 was bridge split.
Yeah.
Both split and then neck split.
Yeah.
But this is a very nice guitar to play.
Well,
it feels very familiar. It's not the neck profile on this. It's not the neck profile on that. It's not the neck profile like on my 80s Squire. But it's not overly V'd. I started finding the V-neck is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
quite
a very comfortable
soft
plate. The only thing I'd say about that is that it's the nitro it needs to be worn in. It can be very sticky after playing it for a few hours.
Because I've heard of some people, like you say nitro never truly sets.
Sanding it off.
I've heard of some who've got guitars and they're still playing them, who came out of the custom shop. So we're not talking about it was done in a bit of a rush. It was it was made with a lot of care and attention. But the nitro is soft, and it's almost to the point where you can do that and it will move with your thumb.
That's why if you look at a lot of the relics, sometimes a lot of people sand off the back and they wear the front down because obviously after a while, I mean, you see the Telecaster I've got and it's like it's much smoother, it's much easier running on the back. Yeah. These polyurethanes are just much faster, they're just much smoother. Your hand doesn't stick. Yeah. With that, it will stick. It's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. Having another nitro one that's 25, 30 years old from new, that was the same. Yeah. Now it's worn. But I
think that's part of the charm of nitro, though, isn't it? That it'll fade over time. It'll wear out. When you see some of the vintage Strats with the nitro fingerboard and it's starting to wear through.
And in this will, because this is a nitro body as well, it's full nitro, so this will end up having like hairline cracks all over like the old ones, because you just can't, it's going to look nice when it does. Like, I'm not bothered about keeping them pristine.
So, here's a question then. Given that nitro doesn't truly set and might get a bit sticky, and it's very thin, so it wears out in places. Given it's possibly the most evil toxic substance, and this won't have been sprayed in America because there are most states.
We'll come to that one in a minute.
You're not allowed to spray nitro. What's the advantage? Why get a nitro finish rather than a nice polyurethane one, which basically isn't going to kill you if you breathe it in, and it's a lot more it's a lot more stable than that. What's the selling point of nitro?
You could probably get a bit of a fatter sound, because the more of it's there to take it off. This will be quite. I'm not going to say it's thin, but it's it's it adds a bit more, makes
So
your neck a bit.
it's breathability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on, and I mean, obviously, the reason why I've done these ones is because it's anniversary and they want to keep them original as to how they were done. It's I'm used to playing them. You know, I have very few that don't have nitro, apart from a custom shop. Yeah, which is polyurethane, which is nice. You know, it's a lovely neck.
But that's a particular bit of a niche guitar you custom shop. So a simple mention about where it was sprayed.
Yeah, the story behind this one is, and this is why I do feel, without getting sued by Fender, it's a little bit unfair. I mean, if you...
I'll get some closer photos, slice into the edit.
The thing with this one is, it's a custom shop design body.
Made out of alder?
Alder.
Yeah.
Probably 2-piece. I could go downstairs and look in the case.
Yeah.
The neck, obviously, one piece. One piece.
Yeah.
Label.
Flat on,
Yeah. Full nitro, painted, stuff like that. Everything on here is American. Okay? The tuners, the electrics, the trem, as he said, is American standard. Everything on it is American. But because it was the nitro one, that has been assembled in Mexico.
Right, because I noticed, I was looking, it's got quite an attractive neck plate with the 60th anniversary thing. We'll get some close-up photos of it, which is nice. It's got a nice little medallion in the headstock.
Yeah.
Lovely vintage tuners in gold.
Clues.
And then next to it,
it's
got serial number begins with MX and underneath made in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I've got a whole bunch of parts that were made in USA and it was assembled in Mexico.
It was assembled
rather than made.
It was assembled and it was painted because
you can't finish in nitro in the USA.
The nitro shop is in Mexico.
Yeah.
So when they're doing, and I don't know the answer to this one, so when they're doing a custom shop, somebody wants a relic that's done properly with nitro finish, I do not know if they're sending driving over the border, paint it and bring it back.
I suppose they must have to because they have got very strict environmental regs.
So I don't know what the score is with that.
But it's
and it's not. I have to say, list price it is not cheap for a Mexican either.
But it's not. That's a standard Mexican Strat. This is not a Mexican standard Strat by any.
No, there's nothing standard on it at all. I mean, the aged cream and everything. I mean, if you get some close-ups here, they've like aged the knobs for some reason, so that it looks like it's worn off.
So that's not your wear and tear. That's
no. That's
pre-aged.
Yeah, but look around the tops of the pickups.
Yeah,
they've made it. They've aged them a little bit. It's like it's supposed to be aged cream.
Yeah.
But then all the gold screws are brand spanking new and shiny.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a strange guitar. It's a strange one for them.
Because not only when I look at a guitar and review it and do vids and stuff like that, I always look at it and say, well, what's it like as a guitar, as a working instrument? You know, I did a shootout video between that USA Strat and that Mexican Strat a while ago, and had to talk about the price difference. And one of the arguments for having a USA Strat is it'll hold its price because it's got USA on the headstock. But to my mind, you buy a guitar to play it. And while your guitar, that might be holding its value because it's got USA on the headstock, you're not getting value out of it while you're playing it. So it's kind of, as a working instrument, how would I view this? And this is obviously, like you say, it's not, it's got Mexican, it's not a cheap instrument.
No. I mean that's the American anodized scratch plate as well. It's solid metal.
Yeah.
I mean you can't. Yeah. On the back, there's a gold one which I take off.
Yeah.
I put a white plastic one on just because the other ones get scratched.
Yeah, because that's the sort of kind of goes without saying, so we didn't say it. Being the Gilmour 00 301 Strat. Yeah. This is like a solid metal anodized,
it's a solid anodized scratch plate. Yeah. 8 holes, so it's all original Fender American one. I've actually bought a spare one of those because that will scratch. Yeah. So if I ever want to put it back to original, sell it to someone who wants it in mint condition, I'll swap the scratch plates over.
Yeah, but thinking of it as just as a working guitar, here's a thing. There's a guy, I communicated with him a bit in comments on a YouTube channel. Forget his name. He's got a YouTube channel called The Guitar Jedi, and he kind of communicated. Commented on one of my vids about the Tonewood thing, you know, and he kind of pointed me at a video that he'd done, and he actually talked a lot of sense, and I'm kind of trying to adopt it more as a mentality. Nobody actually cares what guitar you've got. It was his philosophy.
Yeah.
So if you think about all the people in the world who play guitar, the vast majority of them will care about their instrument. You'll get some who'll just pick up anything as long as it sounds okay, it'll work. But the majority of people actually consume music rather than make it, and they don't actually look at it and say, "Oh, that's a Strat, or that's a Telly, or that's a Les Paul, or whatever." You can tell the difference between an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar, or whatever. So I think that, if I saw somebody gigging this instrument in the pub, I don't know if I'd look at it and say that's, I'd look at it and say, "Oh, well, it's a Gilmour Strat." I'm going to expect somebody to be doing Pink Floyd covers and all this sort of stuff. But your average, I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but your average punter would just see somebody playing like a creamy sort of coloured guitar with a funny scratch plate.
Oh, it's not cream, it's desert sand.
Desert sand. So yeah, I'd say it's not. It is a funny colour. Don't know if I'd actually make a judgment about, as a non-guitarist, if I'd make a judgment about it. So just as a working instrument, it's got some good tones. It's a lovely feel.
Yeah.
Like you say, being nitro finish, it'll age with you.
Yeah.
It's a very nice instrument.
I mean, actually, if someone goes, actually, there's a Black Friday special at the moment on it. They've done.
I shouldn't have said that because it's going to show how long it is before I actually get it edited and onto YouTube.
Depends which Black Friday, it could be next year's. There is, at the moment, Mexican have done. Japan have always had something called FSR, factory special runs.
Oh yeah.
And there's a few that are doing the Aerodyne Strat, which is like a bound body and stuff. Currently at the moment, there's a Mexican factory special run, which is an exact copy of David Gilmour's black one with 21 frets.
Yes.
And somewhere it's doing it reduced from $699 to $499 at the moment, which is a pretty good price for that. And it is exactly, it's the black, it's the maple neck, 21 frets, which is
Mexican standard 21.
Cream. I think it might even have the short arm trem.
Oh yeah, because he's got like sawn off.
He's got sawn off on the black one, and $499. You're thinking that's an amazing guitar.
That's a really good guitar.
Yeah, and it's if it plays as well as that one,
and probably more understated. So you could play the black Gilmour Strat in front of a guitarist, and it would be a bit of an Anoraki guy who notices that actually that's a Gilmour black one. If you took the trem arm out, which is probably the real
that's
giveaway.
probably that's more noticeable than that one because everyone,
Yeah.
I mean, having the black one probably makes you want to break out and play comfortably numb.
Because he does play the black Strat. That's like his signature guitar.
Yeah. And there's a custom shop version for $3,300.
Yeah.
Or $499 from the Mexican. Even if you bought it, send it off to a guitar tech to say, like, set that up beautifully.
Yeah.
Is it worth $2,900 more to have an exact copy with every scrape and scratch that someone's done?
And
that's someone
probably be frightened to take it out of the house and gig it, because these do get scratches and nicks and so on. Just
turn it over.
Yeah.
We have some rather unfortunate dents, and that's the thing is, nitros, it can be brittle like that on the paint, so it comes off.
Like you say, you buy guitars to play them, and I know this will be played. It's not going to be a wall hanger.
It's been played. It's had a beautiful sound as well. Like turned up through obviously I use a twin most days.
So just got a bit of kick in the old bar. This is the Digitech Bad Monkey. Oh yeah, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the sound of a Strat. But that's
Can we just mention something about this? Earlier we just said, and I think this is quite an important thing. I couldn't get that guitar in this country.
I've never seen one advertised by you.
And I took a bit of a risk. So and this is just for anyone who's thinking about doing it. And if you do the maths, sometimes you can get a really, really good deal by buying from America. So you'll have heard of reverb.com.
Oh yeah.
There's some fantastic shops. There's some individual sellers over there.
Yeah.
And the good thing about them is they'll tell you whether or not they'll ship to Britain. So with before going to that, what I should say with this guitar as well is it came with a 60th anniversary tweed case, which is worth probably about £140, £150 over here. It came with it came with a whole lot of case candy. Came with a book. Came with gold strap locks, which I took off. They were actually on and put them back to normal. And it came with like some trick sheets for like try and get a sound like this and all that.
Yeah.
Also came with the label that said this is an American standard, which is really shocking, bearing in mind it's been put together in there.
Yeah.
It came with the original price tags, so I know how much it was
Yeah.
in America, and I know how much the shop was selling it for. But because this one was, those marks on the bottom were not me, they were already done. They were selling it as, you know, well, it's marked.
But
so
they're honest about it.
Oh, the photographs were all on there, had every photograph close-ups, I knew exactly what I was buying. So, how much do you think I paid for that? I'll tell you what, shall I tell you how much it...
How much is one of these, if I'd
Right,
gone and bought these new...
the price tag in the bag was $1,599. So, in England, the price was about $1,100, which is a nice piece of £1,100 for a Mexican guitar.
Because you convert.
People were doing it. You know, that was the RRP.
Yeah.
People were saying that over here. People were doing it for what advertising, even though they didn't have them in stock.
Yeah.
Everyone had it up for like $850 or something like that.
Which, consider the going rate for an American standard now is about 11. But
you don't get a case with it, I don't think. With Americans.
Yes, you do.
With an American, you do. With a Mexican, you don't.
Not with a Mexican.
Yeah.
So it. Given the knocks, I mean, I could see somebody charging a grand for this.
$1,000.
Dollars.
So
saying if you're saying it's £1,500, so $1,500. So what's that, £1,000, and then you got to ship it and all that sort of stuff. I could still see somebody paying £800.
Right. For that guitar, I paid $599, and at the exchange rate on the day was £382 with the case. Wow. I then paid for the shipping on top of it, which worked out probably about £65 to get there. So you're looking around $450 for the guitar with case delivered to my door.
£450.
£450 when it's UK pounds. $450 with the case, everything, and the guitar on there.
So that's pretty reasonable when you consider you could go into a high street, one of the high street chains, get the Mexican standard. Like I've got, I think they're charging about $450 for those now with no case.
The one thing is, though, obviously I had to pay import duty and the VAT on it.
Yes.
But that is on the British pounds. So, you know, let's do 20% of 382. It's not on the... They didn't charge me on the shipping. Which
I see, because you only pay for the goods, not the shipping.
Yeah, the goods.
The VAT,
yeah. So, you know, 382, work it out. I got 80 quid on there. And that was it. The actual duty on it is 3.7%. It was nothing. It was a couple of quid.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So I think the guitar as a whole delivered to me was a touch just over £500 with everything that was in.
I would say a total bargain.
Absolutely. Bearing in mind that it was, you know, list price of $1,100 over here. It has got a couple of knocks on it. Nobody in this country would have sold it to me for that with those marks on the top. And I said tweed case, stuff like that.
Yes, the case is spotless.
Case was
all the bits and bobs.
There wasn't a mark on the case, you know. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes it's, you know, look around, but just remember the duty and the VAT to come in on it. Yeah. And if you're getting a good deal on it, you know, because there's loads of people talking about importing them, they say, like, well, actually, you know, like, well, I can get this one for $1,500 and you're charging £1,500.
Yeah. And
by the time someone's charged them, you know, a lot of money for shipping, because I got a quote for another one that was more expensive than that before that one came on the market, and they wanted something like $250 to ship it.
Yeah, I guess as well, you need a good dealer who's honest with you, because you've got to buy this sight unseen. You've got to rely on him being honest and say there's a couple of dings on it, and give you a good appraisal. This is a such and such shape neck. It's this profile, radius, fingerboard, all the bits and bobs. Rather than saying it's a Strat and you're kind of buying it a little bit blind.
Yeah. And I did, and it was a total risk buying it. It could have come and it could have a warp net and stuff like that. But the shop had good reviews. I would buy other stuff from them. I really would.
Do you want to name them?
What?
Do you want to name them?
Leets, something like that. We'll put a little note on the bottom on there.
Subtitle it there.
Yeah. Yes, and it was the service I got for them was second to none. I mean,
which is refreshing nowadays.
No,
there's just not enough
I
good
reviewed them.
customer
I don't
service.
normally do reviews. I reviewed them
Yeah.
on Reverb and just said I've got better service from somebody who's 4,000 miles away than I get in this country.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal service. They kept me informed of every step of the way, gave me all the tracking details. The customer service, to be honest, I had to contact them afterwards because the book was missing. The 60th anniversary book was missing from the case. Unbelievable apologies, and had it sent to me on FedEx less than 48 hours, and I got it straight away in the post.
Yeah,
And it
because
was just
there are a lot of box shifters in the world. It's nice when you get somebody who you're dealing with the shop.
Yeah,
rather than the computer.
It's a 30 or 40 year old family business from Washington DC, and it was just amazing. The service was absolutely phenomenal.
But yeah, back to this one. This is a very nice guitar. So, I think you've got a real. I think you've got a real
that's
part in there.
Yeah, it's going to get used. It's going to get hammered. It's going to get dense. It's going to be used.
Good, because that's what happens with guitars.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, normally you would have thought something like 001. This is the one we're saving the best to last, but you've got a couple of other guitars which we're going to have a look at.
We have, yes.
So let's take a look at what's next out of your guitar cases full of mystery
goodies.
and intrigue.